Okay.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to an energy and astro report with our girl Ineza. I'm so excited. We've got lots to talk about today. This Libra energy is hitting our call. Her and I are already talking about the travel and the trips we want to do and the month stay in Ireland we were just talking about. And we've got eclipses. We've got a lot going on. I'm not even doing my intro. I skipped right over the intro because we're diving in with you this month. I feel like we've got a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on, and we are here to help and serve people. So welcome to the show, Ineza.
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be back. There's definitely a lot to talk about, and especially about the eclipse tomorrow. It's it's been how it's been for you, by the way, the last 2 weeks. I'll ask you first, and then I'll tell you my experience, kind of.
God, I mean, I feel like the expansions and contractions are so deep and so hard, but I've been really strong in my awareness of where I am and what I'm feeling and just surrendering into it. You know, like if I'm having a shit moment, I'm just letting myself have that moment because I know and trust and have faith that in a few hours I'll be like on top of the world again, or the next
Yeah.
day will come. I've tried to be really present with my family. I'm having a lot of fun with my creations. I'm noticing any pressure that I'm putting on myself for no reason. And I'm trying to have fun. So that's kind of how it's been. What about you?
Very similar. I'm just being aware. So I get sick right after the eclipse. So just a little bit of the what kind of what signs in it, the dates and the timeline to set it up a little bit. So the eclipse on September 18th was in Pisces, so that's a new cycle that's starting. They sometimes overlap. So for the last 2 years roughly, we've been having eclipses in Aries and Libra. So that's the axis we're working. So there's Aries energy, Libra. So we've been working through relationships. South Node is in Libra. So also for this particular new moon solar eclipse, it's conjunct Mercury, Black Moon Lilith. So shadows are coming up as well to be embodied, and on the South Node. And so there's two things happening. The South Node signifies that we are letting go. Libra is relationships, and South Node is karmic contracts. So there's a lot of karmic contracts closing. They're literally closing up, and we might be surprised how easily some of them can be like, okay, it doesn't work anymore. We don't really allow. So we're learning to let go the Libra energy, the relationship energy, and this North Node in Aries is teaching us independence, courage, standing up for what we need, voicing our needs. I've been definitely learning that over the last 2 years. So also very close. So the eclipse last year, October 18, is in a similar, very close to this eclipse. So something was started and have been in the works for a year. For me, it was so poignant and made a really large, significant decision to change my life. And it's been really interesting to look at it and where I've arrived this year. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
So where I was going with this, basically, I'm just explaining the kind of behind the mechanics of where we are in the timeline. So the Libra Aries axis energy will end on March 2025, and then we're overlapping in the Virgo and Pisces energy that we felt the eclipse. Yeah. Do you want to say something? I kind of have a lot. I can feel there is so much energy that should I just keep going?
Keep going. I'm just
Yeah.
watching, listening to you.
Yeah. So I've did that. So there is, let me kind of
You do that review while I say this, because like there is so much going on. I think
yeah,
like
there's a lot.
I'm sure there's a lot going on where you're seeing in Europe. There's a lot going on what we're seeing in North America. It is getting very crunch time. It is getting very tense here from a political to a socio level to a natural disaster level to a woo It is on here in America, and I think people don't know what to think, where to look, what to believe, who to trust. You know what I mean? So it's like a whirlwind, right?
Yeah,
And then there's
that,
people like us, or me or whatever, and it's like, yeah, we're on the ride too, but I'm also like, how can I be an anchored pillar right now? How can I help people
yeah,
stay focused? How can I direct people's energy and attention towards what their soul came here to do? Like, which sounds really selfish when people up the eastern seaboard are dying and people's houses are on fire across the street, and we don't even know which of the evil choices of empires we get to choose come fucking 40 days from now. You know what I mean? Like shit is on, here. So
yeah.
it's kind of like, how can the astrology help us through this right now?
Meaning to stay grounded.
Or no, whatever. Or is the or is the
How can
astrology like,
astrology?
yeah, good luck
Well,
with that.
talking. So I would say just understanding the energies that are happening. These, and we will talk about. So Jupiter is stationing. I will talk about a little bit more explaining. Jupiter is stationing retrograde, then Pluto is actually stationing direct. So
Right.
when you talk about the world issues and power dynamics are changing, the old is crumbling and being exposed because Pluto trades in secret. So there is this Pluto. Well, so I will tell you today. Let's talk about the Pluto a little bit because that's what came through when you were the energy that when you
Right.
were talking about.
Yeah, let's do it.
And then in the end, I will explain possibly more wholesome in a way how can we stay grounded through the chaos? So I think you
Right.
asked me the same question last time. I was like, okay, go.
Probably. Probably. It's what we need here in
Fine.
America. Goodness.
Yeah. So Pluto stations direct on October 18th this year. So Pluto is in Capricorn for the last time in their lifetimes until it's going to be direct. Then it's going to go into Aquarius on November 19th forever, not forever, but for the next like 218 years. No, it will not be in Capricorn again. So there's a lot that we will see as on October, where it will be, we see on the world stage how the secrets are revealed, the darkness, the things that are behind the scenes are being more and more revealed, the hidden power dynamics, the blackmail, the manipulations, extortions, all of these things is Pluto and Capricorn is structure. So it's unearthing everything that's out, like very feels mucky and like corrupt that we can't carry on. So it's being exposed. So we will see that more intensely around October 11th, then continuing until November 19th.
Mm.
It's going to be a lot coming still out. Um, so that's about Pluto. It's a final look back. And when it enters into Aquarius, the energy will shift into more futuristic, as in Capricorn is like in a Capricorn energy, we see the structures falling, and there's more of, okay, what can we take and learn from the old? I don't think there's much, but the Aquarius energy will bring more, the more futuristic, the humanitarian from roots up kind of power, because Pluto is power. So we
Mm.
see the old power falling and kind of crumbling. And I don't know if I have too much. I'm not well versed into politics. I know of, like, I follow it, but I don't know if I can say more into specifics, like, and
Oh
your
no.
election and things like that.
No, I mean the
But
whole
again,
thing's
let's talk
crumbling.
about a little bit. Let's
Yeah.
go a little bit more back about eclipse
Yeah, please.
tomorrow, and then tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then in the end, we'll talk more about like how we bring these together. What do we do when we get overwhelmed and things like that?
Yes.
What do you
Perfect.
think?
Perfect.
Yeah. So let's continue a little bit. So what's happening tomorrow? Um, so it's it's conjoined Black Moon Lilith as well. Black Moon Lilith is the energy of dark feminine. Um, so we might feel also the need to embody something, to let go of the shame around sexuality, about dark feminine, around physicality, around animal nature, around the wild woman,
Mhm.
if you can say, around all those deep things that were maybe suppressed for many centuries in us as women. So Black Moon Lilith, especially in relationships, how women show what's the role in relationships. So we're letting go as a collective some of ideas that doesn't serve us anymore and embodying more authentically who we are as a woman. We have all those facets that are, we can be wild, we can, that wildness and those, that sexuality mostly. I don't know if you can add some other words that like the
No,
more of
like,
the dark shadow energy that we try to suppress and be a
yeah,
good girl. No, it's good to
yes.
be a bad girl as
Yeah.
well, you know, in a good way.
I like to use the word like feminine rage is actually needed. You know, feminine rage is what will actually propel us to the next state. It won't be the what's the patriarchal woman
Yeah,
who
the step for
is
a wife.
right that needs to like stay in the box and be a good this and be a good wife
Yeah,
and be polite. It's like we can't be polite our way through a massive like rebirthing the world on the planet.
no,
Right. So like women
exactly.
around the
Yeah,
world will be coming out of this like colonialism, right? That we've been
yeah.
shoved away to, oh, and oppressed and for women for a long time. And a lot of us have to tap into that feminine rage to get us through this next bit. And I think that scares a lot of women because they don't know that version of themselves. It's been packed away in their bloodlines, even for hundreds of years, let alone themselves.
I think yes, and it's been so judged in my this lifetime experience. Whenever I've been more expressive or more loud or more just free in being, it was like, oh, you're too much or you're crazy, and it did hurt me and trigger me because I naturally feel good in that feminine. I have taking time to do the shadow work, and it takes time to harness, because if it's like unbridled just rage, it doesn't really serve us. It can break through a wall. But if you embody and use it as a power, that in and turn it into passion and channel it into something that needs that power, it can become something beautiful. It takes a lot of patience and facing fears and embodying all of that. But yeah, if that makes sense. Hope I'm making
And
sense.
do you think so? Tomorrow, I feel like to go from 0 to 100 into your wild woman or feminine rage would be very challenging or very overwhelming. But I think we have access to like open that door, or I like to say, like, go explore her in your caves of creation down deep
Yeah,
inside, whether it's deep in your psyche or deep in your womb, wherever you're traveling to go meet her.
yeah.
um, is something like tomorrow giving us a window of opportunity to go look at her, to go find her, to eclipse her, to see her, to sense.
Yes, 100%. There's like this, I think there's something screaming in women. We want
Yeah.
freedom. We want to create. We want to take care of things. We want to, and there's that element of suppression, even from a lot of us from past lives have a lot of trauma and a lot of things that we carry. And I feel it in myself through the journey I've been. And I have seen a lot of stories how it takes courage and patience and so much resilience to move through these energies, to find that call of freedom and to follow it. And I see very like that's it's, you beautifully show that on like on a platform, on your platforms, you
Thank
know,
you.
so that's really inspiring. Mine has been more, I've been needing to retract and
Mhm.
channel that. But yes, to answer your question, tomorrow is definitely a beauty. We will feel it. We'll feel, as there will be a invitation to release a lot of
Mhm.
an old patterns, old beliefs, and it will be quite easy, I
Yeah.
think. Um, and that Black Moon Lilith there will be. It's an invitation. It's a calling. So I invite everyone to sit with that energy. I've been really loving it, even though I've been more tired. I've been definitely purging out a lot of things, but simultaneously, also today we have Mercury Kazemi, which is Sun conjunct Mercury. So there's a lot of revelations, a lot of insights coming. during this eclipse kind of corridor, and specifically today. So the more you can have pockets of time for yourself, for silence, for sacredness, I've noticed it's so beneficial. Even though I'm tired or I'm doing things, when I allow myself to just my mind to wander and allow space for my soul to receive messages, it's been incredible. It's been okay. It's kind of showing me the past, how this has been done and gone. And yeah, there's something different. Like this North Node in Aries is definitely teaching us to stand up for ourselves, to have independence, to go our own way, to voice our needs, whether it's in relationships. This Libra eclipse will be more connected to our relationships, any kind of relationship. So the house where you have 10 degrees of Libra will be very activated. And if you have planets as well. On from 0 to 10 degrees of Libra, these points are very activated because Sun is also going over the past Libra eclipses. So they are all activated, like what's been happening in the works around relationships specifically.
My God. Can we open that up to put some real world situations on it for people so they can sense if this is happening? Because I feel like this is going to happen in families, like family relationships, work relationships, like love relationships, but also like what does that look like to go even deeper? It's like some, can we give some examples or what's happening in our life or what we're seeing in the world? It's like I think a lot of like maybe the tolerance we had, and I don't want to I use the word tolerance, but it may be like behaviors we've been conditioned to believing is right. And now in the year 2024, we're going, something in my body is just saying this isn't right. And I'm going to remove myself or my family or my children from this situation, even if to the world it seems like we're being a bitch, or right, or how could we do that, or that our behavior is rude, or that how could we not talk to a family member when they're going through something hard, right? It's like, but you start seeing like, oh, wait, what role have I been playing in this? And this is a deeper conversation about relationship, right? Like, I've been part of this codependency? Have I been part of this person not being able to move on their path, right? Because you're still either helping them or hindering them or
enabling,
keeping everything fine. Like that's a deeper level of codependency right there.
Yes,
Right?
100%.
Like so, and that's fulfilling a need for us. So whoa, it really like when you go deeper into relating and conscious relating, right? Conscious relating, I don't think is just commandeered by the world of dating. I think it really should be everywhere.
It's any relationship.
Right.
It's any relationship you ever have in your life. Yeah.
Right. So I think a lot of people, that's kind of scary to go up against that. And to have that, like I've heard people having like really good, open, transparent conversations with their bosses right now. Great.
Yeah.
Like this is that type of stuff. Like other people this year and myself, like I'm choosing to just like not continue on in relationships with certain family members that are not aligned with me and we are not on the same level of consciousness. And the way they want to move forward is in that old space of pretending like
Yeah.
nothing's wrong. And I'm just like, I can't move forward in this with you until there is like a real transparent conversation, relationship, relating. Like, yeah, and I'm done. Like I'm good. And I'm saying that so honestly, and I know you're nodding over here too, is because I think when we can say it publicly for people, it gives other people the permission slip.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this. I think you beautifully that's a beautiful example. And some of the, so go into some specific conversations, some of those people that still want to be in that space, like the toxicity or codependency, won't be able to rise to your level, and not rise in a bad way or egotistical way. We respect
Oh,
everyone's journey. They want to stay in their space, but you can't handle. We are also less prone to handle toxicity. We are getting stronger. At least I feel that in myself. We are getting very more aware of our boundaries. We've been learning this for the last 2 years, and I see myself how. So I will give myself an example. there are a lot of people that I cut out. I changed my lifestyle in a really drastic way. And then some people tried to come back in, and I gave a very different type of boundaries because I decided in order for me to live and thrive and do what I came here to do and support my son and create beautiful relationships, not toxic, not all of that Libra shadow side, which is enabling, toxicity, people pleasing. We always put others as light workers or healers. We tend to put others' relation as a women in general. We've been conditioned to put other first. And
Right.
I've become very aware. So, as a personal example, when many people go through this and different, I went through this with family, with friends, with lovers, with all the groups, all the possible groups of people, because I really wanted to clear. I wanted to also, if I'm alone, if I need to go through a certain period of this time, I went many of you might relate to this. You feel like, okay, if I cut out so many people, if I say, okay, these are the boundaries, you might find yourself, okay, I don't have much left.
Right.
That's okay. If you put yourself first and you are healthy and you communicate and people still are crossing the boundaries of not respect, I would say still do not compromise your health, your well-being. When we clear out space, there is a time of void, and the new people and new energies can come in. And we will see after this
Yeah.
cycle,
Yeah.
the more strongly you've been standing your ground and stating your boundaries and communicating and the inner growth you've gone through. Those of you who found yourself, okay, I have clients in these situations. I don't know what to do. Like, okay, do I let everyone go? Then I'm lonely and I'm alone. But sometimes it's a really beautiful place. I've experienced it myself. It
Yeah.
was a really sacred time. It's now only now that I'm not even now. I'm kind of okay. I'm a hermit anyway. So that's kind of I hope I also gave an example.
That's great. No, I think it's huge because again, hearing someone sit here and say the two of us really have gotten to a place in our healing journey where we're like, alone time, quiet time. That's like the fucking dream. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, ah, like whether that's 5 minutes alone to 30 minutes alone to like a day where we just shut off everything. And I say that because the contrast is I still hear people with the words coming out of their mouth say, right now, saying,
Mm.
I can't sit, something has to be on. I can't sit with myself and my thoughts alone. I'm constantly listening to something or I'm constantly watching something. So they're constantly taking something in because they literally can't give themselves an iota of space and a second of space because they can't. They're scared to sit with their thoughts. They're scared to sit with
There's
themselves. What happens?
Yes.
And like I hear that and I just like look at the person. I'm like, oh my God, that's right. Like, you know, I think I remember that a long time ago when I was there and like, holy shit, how many of you feel like this? Like, and I think
Yeah,
it's a lot. I think it's a lot of people.
a
So I
lot.
like we have this we have a very contrasting conversation happening right now in
Mhm.
this eclipse talk, right? Like, and when we're in the eclipse portal right now. And that's
Yeah.
not kind of like black and white. It's like we've gotten there, and a lot of our, I would say, people listening to our podcast have probably been on a healing journey and are on some level of their healing journey. But the people we're surrounded by on a regular basis that we're trying to consciously relate to ourselves or them, right? They might be in a place where they can't, like, silence or a real conscious conversation is like the scariest thing for them.
Or impossible. It's not even what
Right.
they would come near.
Right.
There's a part of my life where there's people that I love dearly, and I would love to have a conversation since a long long time ago, not even this eclipse season. And I've tried that, and it has changed very 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 little. And I can see there's fear and there's not readiness, and they also have made the decision possibly on a deeper level that they won't get there this lifetime. And
Right.
that is a hard decision. If someone's close to you and you love them very much, it is quite heartbreaking. It has been for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Then you love them from afar almost, because
Uh-huh.
if you go in their dynamic, there's toxicity and there's unregulated emotions, and for in my case, and I just can't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And I have to love them from a distance almost, and it's quite intense to, yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a really intense journey.
Yep. I'm
Yeah.
glad you're speaking about this because I think a lot of people will be faced with that radical shift in consciousness. Me and my
Yeah.
husband started using this when we're sitting down and having our own conscious relating and our conscious conversations and the decisions we have to move forward. We are very clear that with specific people, we would have to witness in them a radical shift to allow them back into our lives. And you can
Yeah.
sit here and listen to that and judge us up and down, and that's fine. Or you can be super inspired by it or anything in between. I don't really care. But where I am and where I have to lead and the visibility we need and the levels of leadership him and I both have in the work we do is evolution after evolution. It's like evolving and evolving and evolving
Yeah.
and getting to a place where like we constantly kind of have this like we're rearranging the parameters of our energy fields and what we're contracting our energy field to allow in and to release and
Yeah.
the condition setting that we're putting in our energy field and who we allow in and who we don't allow in. And we say that because I don't know. I'm just saying this for the person who's like, if you've got one of those energy fields where you're propping everyone up or you're fixing everyone else's lives around
Yeah.
because you're not standing in soul purpose, you know what I mean, and doing that for you, but you're receiving it energetically from friends and family to fill up your value level when the shift for you will to be maybe to move into a professional sense with that. That's what it was for me. I was coaching
Yeah.
and helping healing everyone around me, and I was just doing it for free. It wasn't for free because the exchange was I received value
It's
and
never for free.
never
Yeah.
for
There's,
free. And I
yeah.
got my worth filled. And I needed that to happen. That was a very big, powerful earth classroom for me. I needed that to happen for me to go, well, shit, I could be doing this professionally. And now look at me here, right? In an
Yeah.
office, dressed up and charging $3.33 a fucking hour for this shit. And I'm not trying to sound hoity-toity right now. I am standing firmly in my truth and my boundaries. I'm here for great people doing great things. And that means I've got to keep my energy in check. And we've
Love
got to
that.
keep our house in check. And our marriage better be in check. And these are not comfortable conversations, y'all, but it is
Oh.
real. And for our children, oh my God, don't even get me going there. See, I'm getting all fired up and hot. Go ahead.
I
What do you,
like when you get fired up, because then all the beautiful things is like the power, your power comes through. And I think it's so inspiring for so many people, including myself, because you manage kind of juggle a lot of situations in your life, and you like it's inspiring to watch you do that. And I'm sure there's things that you handle privately, but yeah, it's
thank
beautiful. I
thank
love
you.
what you said. Um,
What else you
I
got for?
don't know. This is my brain in
Yeah,
eclipse season after being sick for 10 days. Let's talk about Jupiter is going to go retrograde. So
please.
let's go. So there's another full moon in Aries that's going to be quite also intense. So I think that's it for the, yeah, there's nothing I need to, there's a new, so the final words for the Libra energy and Libra eclipse. So those of you who have Libra, Aries, maybe also Capricorn and Cancer will feel this more intensely, but mostly those, all of you who have planets or points around 10 degrees of Libra, this will be life-changing eclipses. And then we move out of eclipse season really in after 2 weeks, and then the effects of the happenings, the situations, the fated turning points, however big or small, internal, external, or private, or um, world level, will then reverberate and unfold themselves over the next 6 months. So this is kind of like the change we are in. So in the mix, so a lot of times, to answer partially your question about how to ground, this is the time where we kind of, it's very important to ground, to be aware of but also to take extra time to self-care. That's what I've noticed. Like I got really sick, so I automatically needed to, okay, universe wants me to back down, stop doing stuff and take care of myself. And I was like, okay, I do that. So the more you can ground, be aware. Also go deep when there's a lot of revelations happening. So eclipse season is like this. If you have been doing the work and you are on the path, even though it's challenging and you are understanding the challenges, even though they're happening, the more you resist, the more eclipse season can kind of shake you off completely and destabilize you. If you are on your path and doing the thing, and it can create a deep awareness moments where you shift like, yeah, I'm ready for this version of me. What does this version want? So you completely let go. For example, tomorrow it'll be a beautiful shift. I think personally for me, because I do have planets and points in Libra. And I feel that. I can feel myself seeing that version, and I'm ready to let her go completely with all being thankful and being grateful for all. And I wasn't like that before. I hated some parts of me and all of that stuff. So I worked really deeply. So if you've the more you do the work, this is how astrology can help you. If you tune into these energies and understand what's happening, especially in your chart, you can really work with the energy and you can become stronger, more grounded, more empowered, understanding yourself, because astrology teaches about yourself and your life cycles and combining, and then we combine the world mundane astrology in there. So that's how astrology can help. So I'm responding to your question like as we go. Anyways, that was my final words on the eclipse, and happy eclipse, everyone. Even though people are sometimes scared, but there's nothing to be scared. You're just going to be shaken out of your old patterns if you're really deeply being there. Okay. Okay, next thing, October 9th, Jupiter goes retrograde 21 degrees of Gemini. So this will be more to people that have planets in Gemini, to at around 21 degrees. So Jupiter in Gemini, we've been expanding our consciousness, our minds, our beliefs, Jupiter moves quite fast. So this is the time to maybe back down a little bit and see what we might had a lot of ideas over the last few months. Jupiter in Gemini moves fast. There's a lot of ideas coming in. So we might be starting something, writing down. So now, over the retrograde time, which I will say, I don't have the retrograde how long it's going to be, but I'll tell you in a little while. we can not back down, back up a little bit and see what needs to be fine-tuned.
Yeah.
Think about how we can apply these things, how we can integrate these things into everyday life, because Gemini is also everyday life and everyday existence. So we've had our minds expanded, which will continue. So this time is more softer, more internalized. And yeah, we can see what's really true for ourselves, what is true for ourselves. And then there's a beautiful, from October 1st, so today, until 19th. So there's an exact sextile with Chiron retrograde in Aries. So this is a really beautiful energy. So Chiron is healing our identity wound. So when there's a sextile energy, so from October, so for most of the month, there is a very healing energy calling back the soul fragments, our healed parts, our cleansed parts, because in the background there's a water trine, which is a lot of emotional healing and balancing. Also a big October theme in general, it's balancing our mental, emotional bodies. And there's a grand trine, which I will mention in a little bit, that's happening, which is helping us to cleanse, to move emotions. So this sextile, it's a beautiful energy to tune into, to call back our beautiful parts, to call back our intuition, to our abilities, our gifts, what we have healed and what now we can maybe implement to help others or continue helping ourselves, people around us. So that's the energy. It's a really beautiful kind of dynamic in a mix of everything that's happening. New insights and truth about how far that's what I'm getting also, how far we've come in the healing journey, and understanding and celebrating that. And yeah, expansion and healing this textile from the most of October as well.
Woo! I'm excited for that. I feel like you're good. Yeah. I feel like I'm going through that. That sounds like it's like double for us, those of us who are dealing with the Pluto and Capricorn right now. I feel like that's another planet giving us the same medicine, and that's like double, triple of that right now, because I feel like that with the closing of Pluto and Capricorn, I'm like it, even though the memes are hilarious, I've been loving these
Loving, yeah, me
of
too.
those of us signs who are going through this, but I'm like, and I feel the depth of it, but I also am like uh really showcasing who I have become since 2008 and
Mhm.
standing on business with that truth of like,
Yeah.
this is me, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is how I can help you. I'm going to talk about this, I'm going to talk about this. People are like, "Oh my God, how are you talking about that?" Like, where do you get a lot of people are like, "How do you feel so free to talk about what you talk about?" Like, I
Because you
guess.
give work, we get that you're everything's open. You're a channel and a
Yeah,
vessel for God and divine and your purpose. This is how it looks in person.
right.
It's incredible.
Like
Yeah.
I left that box, I burned that box down, I crawled out of that one, I
Yeah.
left that one, I overcame that, like I overcame this, like, you know what I mean? And like I'm like really like my visibility is up. I'm putting myself on
Yeah.
camera, literally. I'm like just really sitting with like the how great my work is, which I know sounds crazy because like I've got great work and I'm Capricorn, but
Oh, it
there's
doesn't
something
sound crazy.
like, you know what, I'm even like not worried about like create mode. I'm also like, wow, this empire that I built myself, all this work that I have is really so fucking good. Like, let's sit with that for a
Yeah.
bit. Let's sit with the 21,000 words people have written about me and my work and just like bask in that, and then go ask shamelessly for more testimony. Like, I don't care. I don't fucking care. I'm like, this shit's good. I fucking look good. My work's good. I feel good. I don't care. I'm sorry that you don't feel good right now. Like, I have those fucking moments too. But you know, like I have those people I look at and I'm like, she looks good. Her work is good.
Yeah.
And I want to hear from her. If she was hiding right now, I wouldn't be activated and motivated by that. You know what I mean?
1,000,000%. You should do all the things. And I'm in your personal containers as well. And people love when you actually, people write in so many amazing things. And people love talking because people need to be asked. We need to be
Yeah.
asked as well. So when I do that, I ask for after every session, I send like, can you please fill out this? And people are more than happy when our work is good and our medicine is powerful.
Mhm.
But it's a blessing for both people to share that love.
Mhm.
So yes to everything, yes to be seen. For different also configuration dynamics, I am not there yet, but it's not my time to be visible yet. But I love everything for you. I think we need everything you do, every ounce of inspiration, and just how you show up yourself is inspiring. And then what you say, we need every bit of it. So thank you for doing everything.
And also,
Please continue.
right. Thank you. Because I think and I hope it gives a permission slip for people around me
Yes,
to do the same. Like, it's
100%.
not about me. It's actually, it's a vibration. It's a ripple effect. It's not about me feeling good. I feel up and down all fucking day long. Like, that's fucking insane. You just get used to that ride and as used to it as you can because it's new and you're going around different bends and turns and corners. So it's like crazy. But like I share from both those places. I don't share from a perfect place. I share from the raw, right?
And it's always more powerful to do that because people will always feel how authentic your energy feels. And I feel that every time like you show up. And for talking about astrology, because you're also a Capricorn and we're moving out, And when I said it's a graduation, but it's much deeper than that. That last dip we have in Capricorns, and Pluto is super close to my sun. My sun is 27 something, and so it's very conjunct for the last 3 years. So I went through that, and I was thinking this will be like, oh, I'm just gonna like put my trophies in like on the stand, like in invisible energetic trophies. Now it's another deep dive into, but it doesn't like it's for me it was sickness, but also it was a blessing in disguise and all of those things. It wasn't as light as I just try to talk to universe like when I want it to be easy. No, it's not that easy, but also it's not as hard. I think we need these depth plunges. I
Yeah.
think as Capricorns, that's why
Yeah.
I can feel that energy that when you talk about things and the way you show up, I can feel that energy rising. And I know it's gonna showcase it at the time that is right. And I'm gathering all the things I need and everything I need to for that to happen. So yeah, that's what I want to say.
This is why it's so good. I'm going to give you this plug. This is why you need an astrologer to look at your chart, guys. This is why we
Yeah.
can sit here and talk about like this and this and this, but to see this reflected back in your own chart is wild. And it's so gratifying and it's so confirming. You know what I mean? Like you and I, even though we're Capricorns, I bet we have very different charts. Like when
Yes.
sometimes I'm like, why do I have to go through this? Why is this happening again? I'm crying, like literally the summer after, like just like crying hysterically on the ground, on my knees, being like shaking, like how is this happening
Mhm.
again? Why is this happening again? I'm talking like tragedy and death and stuff that is so intense people can't even like reach out to me and help me with it, and I'm like, why? And then I like look at my chart the other day and I see like 4 planets next to each other in fucking Scorpio, and then four
Yes.
planets next to each other in Sagittarius. And I'm like, oh, that's right. This isn't gonna be easy for me. Like, I can have moments of peace, and that's great. And I can get a nice house in nature and like chill the fuck out. But like, I didn't come here to like play it safe.
Yeah. I look, by the way, we will talk about this in your session today. You have Pluto conjunct Mars, conjunct South Node in
Oh,
Scorpio in the 12th house. It's just this powerful witch in the best way possible, like
yes.
witch as in power woman, like a woman, the most power in a most powerful way. So you will go through these cyclical regenerations and deaths and rebirths, and just kind of have constant interactions with spirit where you need to
Mhm.
break down part of your ego in order there to something new to blossom. There's a very beautiful alchemical cycle that you have throughout your life, and the way you show up for other. Oh my god, I'm getting goosebumps because this is kind of channeled message for you. This we are starting your session as we finish our podcast.
Love it.
There is a really beautiful alchemical kind of dance with spirit and death. In a way, you're learning about death, you're teaching about death, you are even the way you move in the world, you affect and heal and teach people. You don't apart from what you do in your business, that's why you have, and I have similar, not exact, but similar alchemical death and rebirth process. So I know in a way how you can sometimes feel. And it's like, why again, again, again? But we need to go through this because for our medicine to become more potent, we need to go through these kind of portals
Mm.
where we need to face a really intense
Mhm.
parts of ourselves and parts that needs in order us to alchemize, in order us to embody, in order us to face really fears and hell and all of those things, because then we through that we learn power, authentic power, and how we and our purpose and how we show up hones and fine tunes,
Mm.
and we become really embodied, and we don't need to think about it. It becomes us. It becomes easy in
Yeah.
a way. But the journey there, not easy. Some people would die through that.
Yeah.
I almost did through mine,
Yeah.
but because it makes everything more potent. Like there's a post I will send you that will make sense. Okay.
Mm.
Ah. And also, I think we are really into time. So let's wrap up I want to mention though another full moon in Aries, and I think that would be good, kind of a good information for today. What do you think? Because otherwise we will go on for 2 hours, and I'm not
No,
sure.
I'm excited for my reading.
Yes,
My
me
monthly
too.
recap, or not
So
recap, my monthly look ahead at what's coming.
yeah, well, we dive into energy that you've been, what's happening now, and then and also in our sessions, and I like to do the energy that's happening and go deeper into an aspect of your chart. So we'll do Pluto and Mars and all of that because it's significant, and I'll explain to you after in the session. Okay, let's continue giving people information before we start your session. I love how this is naturally going to your session. Anyways, so one more really kind of powerful day will be October 17th, which is full moon in Aries. So, and it's going to make part of intense cardinal grand cross, which is planets opposite and square each other. So it's moon in Aries, sun in Libra, squaring Mars in Cancer and Pluto in Capricorn. And this full moon is exactly conjunct Aries. This goes back to when you talked about sacred rage. Aries energy is very plutonic. It's the energy which has been so suppressed by patriarchal systems for so long that it comes out almost as, it's very Aries. It's also very plutonic. It can create, like, it's like I can see it as fire, as burning down. It's very sacred rage, like intensified.
Yeah.
So
Like
also
volcanic. When I think of Aries energy like that, it reminds me of like volcanic energy.
absolutely, yeah,
Like
that's great.
they rumble and they rumble
Yes,
and they
it's
rumble
like
and they
it can
erupt, and you're like, better get out of the way.
yeah, it's like that. It's the eruption of something that's been so just pushed down for so long that sometimes we all feel it, especially when we have to see our purpose. I want to do this. We have to face these parts that are deeply pressed, and it can come out so scary sometimes. Like why I feel all this rage, but it's fine. It's okay. It's kind of natural to feel all this rage because it's been suppressed for so long. Like our mothers or grandmothers maybe didn't have ability to ever really to reach into that strength and power and that potential and power that we have.
Yeah.
But it's been like there's hurt. That's why it kind of alchemizes into rage. So we need to learn how to work with that in a way. So this there can be. So when I was meditating on this, so this full moon we can get triggered, but the trigger is for us to find how to stand our ground. This is not the energy to let's go with the flow. This is stand up, stand for what you believe. There may be triggers that you have to face, say what you think, put down boundaries, learn something new about yourself. That Aries energy, the courage, the grit, the resilience, those things that make you want to, okay, I'm ready to do this. This is something new. And it's really beautiful energies, but they won't be easy. So it's not an easy day, but it can trigger you into a better version of yourself. That's the best way I can kind of pose it. It will trigger you to be the best, into the best version of yourself. So if you have planets or points around 24 degrees of Aries, Libra, Cancer, or Capricorn, you will feel this more intensely in the house that is this is happening, all of these. So this is cardinal energy, so these are beginning energies. So again, on a full moon we usually release, but cardinal energy wants to start something, and Aries is the beginning. So we are having this almost from this eclipse. There's also letting go, starting over. For the next one there's letting go, starting over. So this is this constant energy kind of world that we are in. So it's not kind of calming down, but I think we are good. I think we're good.
Everyone, we're good.
If you
We're
need
gonna
to
be
reach
good.
out, yeah, if you need to, this is a great time. Okay, to be serious.
Yeah.
don't think all of us are good all the time at all. I am crumbling down and like breakdowning into breakthroughs constantly. But if you need help through this time, this is a great time to reach out for a healer, for astrologer, for a guide, for a psychotherapist, something that will help you to go through this time. This is not an easy time. So the more you get in tune with yourself and who you are and your wants, and not kind of shuffled through your old ways, you will get more. It's gonna be shaking you up because we need to wake up a little bit more, and it's scary and it's hurts sometimes, but it's so definitely worth it. I can tell you from the journey of my birth until the 42 years, it's so worth it. It's not easy, but it's worth it. Even if you're starting now, even if you're feeling like you're waking up and okay, there's more. Yeah, reach out for help. Look for people that resonate with you. Look out, reach out. I think people forget that there's so much of us that are ready to help, you know?
Right. And
Okay, but yeah.
last note on that, I want to say to people is like, what you're saying and how it's like, I want to remind everyone that as we're watching the things that aren't going to live anymore, the ways of living that can't go on, all these things that we're saying are ending. I really truly believe that so many of us, and in our healing and in our evolutions and in these transformations, we are creating that new earth. We are creating that lava of the new earth, or the actual terra of the new earth, the soil, the compost of the new earth, the mycelium network. Tap into the conscious collective of those that are on the rebirth team. Those
Mm-hmm.
of us that are on that death cycle rebirth going, I'm doing this for a deeper reason. I know I'm here. And people, like, even if they consciously understand that or don't, but they're on the team anyway, we have our own kind of like cycle network on the
Yeah.
planet where it's not as busy as the 8 billion, but there's a lot of us, like many, many, many millions, maybe
Mm-hmm.
even a billion. Maybe it's an eighth of the actual collective. We have our
And
own
it's
network.
expanding all the time.
Exactly. It's like reach, like I teach my clients this a lot. This is a huge takeaway I say, like tap into that, because it's the fucking goat herder in Spain who's making milk and soaps from his goats that he's praying over, and like doing dope stuff to the earth. It's the eco village people over here. It's the children's book writers over here. It's bigger than you. It's not so big, but it is. Like, what are we doing? Because we're hearing all of this destruction all the time. And I want to remind everyone there's a lot of great building going on right now. And it's so inspiring. And I'm on that fucking team. So who wants to join that team?
100%, and it's not streamed in a mainstream media. That's why we are just seeing. We are bombarded by images of separation and destruction and divide, and that's what they want us to think.
Yeah.
But there's so much work happening from like us. So we are entering Aquarius age. So Pluto also in Aquarius will bring this more into the surface with people, groups of people, communities. Aquarius is communities. We are
Yep.
coming together. We are connecting and doing our thing. So yeah, just wanted to add that.
So exciting. I gotta sneeze. Ooh, I need to sneeze on
Bless you. That is
that.
true.
So what can they contact you?
So you can contact me most easy through Instagram or Facebook. There is going to be a link to my Instagram, and then you can there's a session link as well on my profile. So that's the easiest way, I would say.
Are you doing mentoring with the stars? Is that the main thing you want them to know about right now, or readings with you?
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much for reminding me that I'm doing mentoring with stars. Yes, that is what Jayme is part of. And that's what the monthly sessions that we're talking about, where you have access to all my abilities and skills. So mainly it's evolutionary astrology, but also mentorship and energy healing and spiritual mentorship. So a lot. You can find that on the easiest way, again, if you go Inese and Jayme Instagram, Jayme will leave my Instagram, and then you go to my profile. Or just send me a message and I will send you any kind of links and to learn more about that.
Awesome. If you're in my world, I've got a lot cooking right now.
You
I've
do.
got Soul Purpose Studio. The first cohort's going through that 11/11. I've decided. Another reason why I was like trying to give myself, I was like trying to make this go earlier, and I was just like, I'm not feeling it. Let's have it be after that, like, I don't know, something around the 11/11 just feels really good. It's 6 months mentorship with me for going from idea to creation. And that's where if you join that, you get a reading with Ineza. I also have the
Yes.
Circle of Success Mastermind. I'm so excited about that. I haven't done a mastermind since 2021, and I'm calling in the people who are ready to take it to the next level in their business. So you get a session with me once a month, and I'm even doing Tuesday calls called Take It to the Next Level Tuesday because I'm that fucking serious about the energy of that. You know, people who are coming on who have already have the business, already have the thing, they've already made some money, they already have things established, and they want to take it to the next level. So that's coming out in October. I'm kind of lightly like enrolling in that for the rest of the year. And then I have, you guys know, my bundles of portals of classes and courses, and it's brilliant. Like you could just be in my portal for a year before even working with me. And I
Yeah,
offer
it's
shit. Some people
amazing.
do.
Yeah, it's so much resources and so much. Just yeah, I would just do it. I mean, I've been a part of your world for a while now, and I've benefited so much. So
Thank
thank
you.
you.
All right. This is it for today's call. This was good. This was fiery and beautiful and air and creative and wild woman and let your grays come in, ladies. That's what I'm doing. I'm letting my grays come in. It's triggering a lot of people right now.
What do you mean? Like your hair is
See
triggering
my
other people?
grays? I don't dye my hair, and I haven't dyed my hair since 2015. You can't like see it in this light, but all my
I
grays
can
are
see a little
coming.
bit, yeah.
And it looks so good, but I'm like being very vocal about it. I'm not dying it. I'm not doing that. Like I am my wild woman. I love the fucking crone. I can't wait to be
Yes.
a fucking crone. Since 7 years old, I've wanted to be an old woman. Like I'm coming into like my years, baby.
I
You know
love
what I
you
mean?
so much.
So I'm letting the grays come in, and oh my God, people are like losing their
I
mind,
love it. I think it's gorgeous. It suits you also so well. It
right?
just
I'm
looks
like,
amazing.
again, a permission slip when you do something like that, women, and you stand in your wild woman or your crone or wherever you are, it gives someone else a permission slip to do the same.
Always.
Okay, we'll leave it
Thank
on
you
that.
for being you.
Lo-
Okay, thank you everyone for listening.
Love
We
you
will see you
all.
next month and connect to us if you need guidance, if you need expand your business with Jayme or any questions.
Okay, thanks for tuning in. See you next month. Toodles.
Bye.